Okay. What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to go over my free play game of the month for April, Skul the Hero Slayer. Now this is the first game in my monthly series, Free Play Fridays, where I play a free title on PlayStation Plus. And let me tell you, this was the perfect game to start a series with. Let's talk about why. In Skul, you play as a little skeleton who's been tasked with saving the Demon King, who has been captured by the game's evil heroes. It's the classic good guys equal bad guys equals good guys spin that I'm sure we've all seen at this point. The concept isn't anything new, and neither is the art style, but that's not bad. There are loads of pixel games on the market, but Skul stands out by just being frickin' beautiful. The colors pop, and the character design is on point. From the moment I jumped out of the Demon King's castle, I knew that even if this game sucked, I would at least be able to enjoy the way the world looked. And that pixel art's really nice. On top of this, the music complemented the graphics in a way that added to my adventure. In a game where you die a lot, you will die a lot, the last thing you want is a bad soundtrack. Luckily, Skul sounds just as good as it looks, and that helps the game so freaking much. This is where I start the hard critiques. It's a very good thing Skul's world is immersive, because you're going to be seeing a lot of it. See, one of Skul's main gimmicks is how it approaches replayability. You're going to die a lot, and every time you die, you're going to go start all over again from the beginning. I am very fortunate the view from the Demon King's castle looks beautiful, because I have seen it 62 times. The very first time I died in this game, I was not too happy about having to start all over again. But I quickly realized that this is a core element of Skul's gameplay. See, at its core, Skul is a builds game. Each playthrough, you equip your character with different skulls, items, and upgrades. Each playthrough, these things are randomized, effectively making the way you approach playing the game different every time. This entire concept is further supported with how your in-game choices affect your actual playthrough. See, not only are the collectibles randomized, but so are the rooms in which you collect them. Every time you clear a room, you've got the choice of what type of room you'd like to enter next. Do I enter a spooky green door in the hopes I'll collect a stronger skull? Do I enter a treasure door to collect more gold? Perhaps a rare item waits for me behind the average door. Out of the 3 types of doors, 2 randomly generated options wait for you at the end of every room. On top of this, each run nets you dark shards, which you can use to upgrade your traits. Basically, more runs equals more shards, which equals a stronger character. The stronger your character, the further you progress in the game. It's actually a really beneficial cycle. It makes you feel less annoyed after each death because you know you can upgrade your character at the beginning. Eventually, you'll be strong enough to make it to the next level. With each new level, offers the opportunity to free a fellow monster who will be at the castle upon your next death. These monsters allow you to start your next run off with a benefit in the form of a skull, item, and buff. That's the appeal of Skul. Losing isn't fun, but with each death, you know that you're going to get stronger. Paired with the randomization of rooms and collectibles, Skul should be the textbook case on how to make a game replayable. Seriously, I have run this game 62 times over a period of 28 hours, and I still have not beat it. Now, I can always turn the difficulty down, but I feel the need to play most games on normal difficulty. Apparently, the easy difficulty makes running the game so much easier, but I feel like I should be able to beat the game as an average gamer. And this is where I think Skul falters. Playing on an average difficulty, I feel the game is unbalanced. Health drops aren't a super common occurrence, and I often find myself wandering into a boss fight with less than ideal health. That's not good, considering this game increases the amount of boss fights you fight with each level. Sure, I get to the shop before each mid-boss, but the health pickup there is often unhelpful. Many times, it only offers me partial healing, and after purchasing it, I can't afford other items. I have had numerous instances going into boss fights, knowing that my run would end there. Now you might be saying to yourself, "Broke, why don't you just get a stronger skull?" Well, dear viewer, while skulls are easy to obtain in this game, upgrading them to more powerful skulls is a chore. Spider Mommy, the outlet for Skul upgrades, is placed in places where upgrading is inconvenient. Do I have 100 bones to shell out at the beginning of level 3? Probably not. Oh, you've placed her after each boss. That doesn't help me in a boss fight, which are the hardest parts of most runs. Provided I survive and choose to collect the skull at the end of a mid-boss fight, I might have the bones for an upgrade. But end-level boss fights don't reward you with skulls. Having Spider Mommy at the beginning of each level often isn't super helpful. Do you know what would be super helpful though? If the game bothered explaining how inscriptions work. In fact, I had to look up that term on the wiki because I didn't know what they were called. Basically, stacking certain items nets you certain buffs, which could be beneficial to your build. The game doesn't outright tell you this though, and you've got to kind of figure it out on your own. You open your menu, and all the symbols on the left side are pretty much a mystery. The drop-down menus, when picking up an item, are meaningless unless you've got a general idea of how stacking items works. I still don't know how stacks work after 28 hours of playing. I can't help but to think, maybe I would have beat the game by now if I only knew how the system worked. All of that being said, I played Skul 5 days, logging a total of 28 hours, 18 minutes, and 15 seconds. I haven't beat the game. Now, despite my inability to finish the game, there are plenty of people who have, which means it's 100% achievable. I love how this game looks, I love how it sounds, and the game's structure makes it addicting. There's a reason why I invested so much time in it without throwing in the towel. It's fun. Smashing your way through bad guys with a different array of abilities is super satisfying. My favorite skulls are the Frost Skull with the right abilities, the Ninja Skull, the Berserker Skull, and the Champion Skull. I would highly recommend this game to both casual and hardcore gamers, especially if you're a fan of arcade-style beat-em-ups. I'm not gonna lie, this game would have made a killing as a cabinet back in the day. Luckily, I didn't have to drop a single quarter on this title, unless you count the cost of a PlayStation Plus subscription, in which case, it was well worth the investment. Overall, I'm glad that this was the first game in my Freeplay series. I'll probably be keeping it on PS5 in order to play periodically. I believe if I learn the inscription system and how to better execute certain attacks, I will be able to beat the game at some point. But for now, I need to shelve it in order to play my May Freeplay title, Tunic. You can catch me running that game on Fridays at 7 PM over the course of the month. If you like this video, please drop it a like, and consider subscribing to my channel if you like this type of content. But with that, I'm gonna call it. Thanks for watching.